about the 5th day in the row.
That one at the back there that's walking, its horn looks even more hooked.
Yeah.
아까보다 소리 작다. Amboseli is one of the smallest national parks in Kenya, but it's very famous for its large herds of elephants. There's a few here close by, some of them quite deep in this swamp, but on the horizon we can see a group of at least 10 there, maybe about 15 there, and over 20 or 30 in the distance. We also have Mount Kilimanjaro in the distance there, which you can't see now, it's covered by cloud, but about an hour or two ago we had a beautiful view of the mountain.
So why do you know why they cover themselves in dust like that?
Yeah, he's trying to cool with the soil.
Okay.
With good of sun.
So
His legs are very wide
our guide Boniface says that this baby elephant was probably just born today.
So wobbly. We're amongst a herd, or maybe a couple of herds of elephants. There's about 35 of them. There's lots of young ones, between 6 months and we saw one earlier that had maybe been born today. They're basically just one of the best things that I've ever seen.
On our last night in Amboseli, we went to visit a Masaai village. Nothing much had changed at all since 1979 on my first visit. The people still live in the same way. The only difference at all that I could see is that our guide, who was a registered guide, had a mobile phone which he charged up in the tents in the campsite. So off we went. It took us about half an hour walk through the bush until we got to his village. His village is only one of 10 villages, and we could see the other villages in the distance. His village has got a water well that was put there by the UN, and all the people from the other villages come to that same water well, and they carry the water on their heads, the women carrying water and wood. In the village itself, about 100 people lived in the village and about 50 children. They have a fence all the way around the village made out of thorn bushes to protect the village, but right in the centre, and the houses are built in a circle, right in the centre they have several more thorn bush fences. Inside they keep all the goats and all the cattle. They have had a big drought, so they really don't have that many cattle left. But they still live on goats, that's their wealth, and they eat goat meat occasionally for special times. The rest of the time they drink goat's blood and goat's milk, and that's mostly what their diet consists of. They were extremely welcoming. We went into their homes, which are made out of sticks covered in cow dung. They were extraordinarily dark inside. And the advantage of being really, really dark, and they do all their cooking inside these really dark homes, is that they don't get mosquitoes. Our guide was 32. He had his first wife chosen by his father. He chose his next 2 wives themselves, and he had 8 children, the oldest of whom was 9. He said he wanted many more children and many more wives, but the maximum he could have would be he couldn't have more than 10 because the chief has 10 wives.
You might be wondering how we managed to afford a safari on a backpacking budget. Well, we did a lot of research, ended up choosing a safari company with budget in the name, and managed to get a deal for 7 days for less than £600, which is a pretty good deal. And the drivers were great, the vehicles were pretty good, in decent condition. The campsites and the food left quite a lot to be desired. They had the right ideas, but sorely in need of a bit of creativeness and a bit of maintenance. But it was definitely worth it for a one-off splash out to see all these amazing animals and have a great experience.